Right. Good afternoon. Link to the Past fans. We have some more Link to the Past Randomizer League playoff action. Over here we have Zelgadissan representing the Spoilers versus In the Name of DT representing WJPDTB with a little bit of cross keys action. JP having just won his match over on in the casual boots. So it's 1-1. And already some diversion. Zelga doing a very standard start, going ahead and doing the fake flipper over to the magic shop and gonna check that out. And then we'll probably do a pulling hand to get some money. In the Name of GT wants to check out Hyrule Castle area first. Ooh, nice pre-pull for those 20s. Also joining me will be Maniacal. He will be here shortly. And that looks like Magic Bat for DT over at the castle. Yeah, DT farming some extra money. Always good to have. Yeah, it looks like the useless fairy at the useless fairy. So we'll do our hula hand, get some money, and we'll see what Zelda does next. DT finds a small key to Hyrule Castle, French vanilla, and we'll see where Sanctuary spits us out. Oh, that's really good because that small key means that we won't have to kill Aga to get to the back or make a decision. Sanctuary there also puts you close to town. I like that, except for the 50-50 possibility of having to, check which items to check in Castle, but we have the key, so it's not going to matter. Speaking of Castle, we have Castle Tower there, and joining me is Maniacal. How you doing, Maniacal?
Hey, Tracy. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Yeah, not much going on yet. We just found Meyer over here in the fortune teller's hut there. Oh, a glove for DT. The most interesting thing we've gotten before this was a Hyrule Castle key in Sanctuary. And with Sanctuary being at the Lumberjack, we don't have to worry about killing Aga 2 for the back of escape, which is nice. Or sorry, Aga 1.
Yes, I need to get my brain set correctly for this mode.
I don't know that
very
this is such a
disorienting.
thing. Oh, in chat pointing out that I missed the Swamp Small in Link's house, which is another one of those small keys. It's just good to have early.
Yeah, Swamp Small acting a little bit more like many of the big keys. Pretty much unlocking the dungeons, always great. Definitely one of those ones that you want to find early or are happy to see early.
Yeah. The only time you don't want to see is if it's a pendant that you just don't ever have to go into.
Yeah, but early on, before we can diagnose the dungeons, you just want to be able to clear them. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Early you want it. Oh, and Zelka finding a dark room. Can't tell what it is since we don't have his sound on. A big key to pod. Oh. We have a small key to pod and a big key to pod, which means we could go to the back if we had the equipment for it, but we don't even know where it is yet. Zelga's still in that dark room, so he must be in some place that he can navigate. Possibly my guess is he's gonna end up in the mountain, because that's the one you would want to do early if you get it. Yep, and there it is. There's the old man.
Yeah, so probably got the drop down sound and said, "Yeah, I can work with this."
Yeah, and that, you know what? That's not trivial when you don't have anything to see off of. No sword, not even like a boomerang or a hook shot.
Yeah, of the dark rooms to do without any sort of guiding items, though, that would be the one at the top of my list.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we find Ganon in the well.
And Bottle Vendor with a GT big key.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Front of TR, can't do anything there. I might have grabbed the magic pot there, but we don't have any magic anyway, so it's probably not a big deal.
So some good heart pot awareness there from Zelga. finding Sahasrara, but also re-entering one of those rooms that you almost would never go into in any other mode.
Yeah.
And using the pot there to pick up an extra
Yeah.
heart.
Also noting we found Thieves Town on DT side, and that pod is our green pendant.
Yeah, that bodes well for the swamp small key.
Yeah, it sure does. And DT will clear out the front of Thieves Town, won't be able to do the back. No big key. And frankly, for a first dip, unless you can full clear it, including the big chest, it's kind of nice just to be able to do the front 4 and hopefully get something good.
Yeah, it's not hard to get to the back of the dungeon. The front 4 is almost a free roll, requires no items, pretty safe walk, and pretty quick. So always one I'm happy to see early. Starting to pick up those pod smalls.
Yeah, second pod small and a small key at Tower of Hera. Another one of those keys. It's really good to have early. Because you hate to have to go all the way back to Hera, wherever it is, and you can use it if you get it late. Although, of course, we'll need fire if we find it early. Yeah, Zelga doing all these out-of-logic mountain checks, but you don't want to have to traverse through the old man cave to get back here until you have something better to see by. Well, DT, in the meantime, showing us all of Kakariko.
Yeah, Zelga in good early resource situations. Both runners actually doing fine. DT a little tighter on rupees, but both with plenty of early bombs.
And there's our logical mountain access. As Zelga comes out of the ladies' hut connector.
And this will set him up
hype
to just go up and do his Kakariko checks as well. Kakariko, so dense with entrances, you want to try and get over there as early as you can in most seeds.
Okay, we got a GT small key and a Skullwood small key. GT, there are 4 of them. You only really need about 2 of them, depending on your route. You might need 3 if you're going to clear it, which we maybe don't have to do that. Skullwood small key, nice to have early, because can't beat Moth without a small key. Now, you can always get your small keys out of the front of Skullwoods, which is always in the vanilla area. But now, if we find Skullwoods and have a fire source, we can just do it, even if it's not in logic.
Yeah. Skullwoods and small key logic's one of those ones that usually doesn't come into play, but is something to be conscious of. There are the 3 sort of wild small keys out there that lock, Moth, for instance. So if something ends up being on Moth, that'll be worth kind of noting where those pop up. Having one early is nice, though.
Mitts, 8 minutes in. And flippers.
Okay, so
if you're gonna get mitts, get them early. A late mitts pickup is, if you're still looking for stuff, can be really annoying because suddenly all this extra stuff it's all over the place is open up. So also a CT small key, which we don't need the second one because we're not gonna kill Aga 1, but we can now get to both items whenever we want to. We saw, I forget where it was, somewhere in Kakariko. We did see the entrance to a castle tower.
Yeah, our tracker Tofile pointing out a correction to my previous statement that two small keys to Skullwoods are wild and one is in captivity.
Yeah,
not too far away from pot prison, as it turns out. So captivity is maybe correct, but is guaranteed to be in the front of Skullwoods there.
Yeah, really glad that small key in pinball room is always there, because you don't want to have, if you have the bad Skullwoods layout, you don't want to have to choose to fall down a place. And you pick wrong, you just can't do anything.
You don't like drop down roulette with slow Dark World access as a function in your video game?
I prefer not to have that. DT about to get to the mountain.
There's enough trolly things in this game. Why not? Sure. Why not one more?
DT gonna find himself on the mountain. We'll see if he is able to rescue the old man. We still have nothing to see by. There really wasn't a whole lot other than that here, though.
Yeah, bombs can be useful for navigation.
Yeah, bombs are, I mean, he's got 6 of them, so it definitely could do it. And he's coming from the back, so it wouldn't be quite as bad. Oh, there's Castle. No, wait, that's the back of Desert.
Desert North. Castle was up
That
in
was a
Lost
Kakariko
Woods, I
segment.
think.
Oh, Lost Woods. Yeah, that sounds right.
Like in the north.
Yep.
Because DT was there very early.
Yep. And DT gonna steal that desert key. Whether he'll actually use it or not remains to be seen. I kind of like to pick it up just in case, so I have the option. But I rarely actually use it.
I was gonna say I tend to not pick it up because I wouldn't want to punish myself unduly.
Okay, there's yeah, he's going for the bomb struts for this.
Yeah. And a good point from our other tracker, Sirio, that we did have one of the desert entrances pop up in Kakariko. So that may have influenced the decision to steal that key.
Yeah, I mean, when you get there, you can, if you set up a death warp, you can save scum it potentially just to see what's over there on the right side. If it turns out the desert's a pendant, you might be more apt to do it, but it's a scary play. Because if you have to search out that small key to finish the seed, if that small key's in a bad spot, yeah, it could lead to very bad circumstances.
Yeah, usually you end up, if you know, like, Desert East is accessible, like, wanting to just do it off a saving quit so you can reset scum the key. But then, like, if you find something that's uncertain there, like, I kind of hate it.
An ice rod before you know Turtle Rock is required. That's a good one.
That said, giving yourself the option is fairly low cost, so as long as you aren't prone to making that mistake, which both these runners are fantastic and shouldn't be at significant risk of doing that. Of course, anyone can make any mistake on a given day, but I doubt we'll see that sort of level of blunder.
And of course, Zelga, having been a semifinalist in the most recent Cross Keys, I tend to trust his decision-making.
Yeah, but Zelga didn't steal the key.
No, he did not steal the key. It was DT that stole the key. We'll see if he does when he finds that spot.
Yeah. Which is not a knock on DT. It's just an acknowledgement. I missed whether I guess DT definitely got that pod big key. I just missed that we had the pod big key. So we have 2 smalls and a pod big key already.
Which is enough to get to that big chest. Not in logic.
Yeah.
It's behind 6 smalls, but not unusual to see runners just use, you can get a lot out of pod with just 2 small keys if you find it.
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to doing the the 4-heart green mail no navigation item dark maze off of my hammer.
I mean, I could see maybe just doing the big chest.
Why not just get it done?
Yep. C-shaped house with a Pizza Heart. Zelga finds his mitts. He went in the opposite order of his glove mitts.
Yeah, getting an early mountain break and then spit out, sort of down at the bottom of Kakariko works out real nice. We're about to find that castle tower, I think, on Zelga's side. There it is.
Yeah, that's right. Also, again, if you're gonna get mitts, getting them early is really nice instead of having to get them late when you're. You're one item or one entrance from go mode, and suddenly a bunch of things open. Right now, it opens nothing.
Yeah, what drop down was over at the sanctuary location?
I didn't see.
Okay, because we're headed over there with a glove on Zelga's side.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, DT's about to drop down, so there must be something good.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. Oh,
Uncle.
So we have a pyramid cackwell today, I think, which is just great news.
Yeah, the climb now is 9 items instead of just the normal 4.
Good old 9-item upper GT with early GT big key. Don't worry about it, runners.
Yeah, well, we don't have a bow yet, so we still have a little ways to go.
Yeah.
And the bow might not even be required with Eastern Palace. With Pod a pendant, maybe Eastern Palace is a pendant too. So maybe we just don't see a
Yeah.
bow.
Yeah, Bella's progression signal to upper GT is exactly what everyone wants in their cross case seed.
I know, right?
I've not run into that particular signal yet, and I'm better for it. Oh, Crap Fairy.
Yeah, DT didn't. I mean, Zelga scouted this out earlier before you got here, and you know, the standard do the Houlihan start with the fake flippers.
With 430 rupees, well, with flippers, we're not able to Houlihan. So
no, which is kind of a shame because
not here.
Because with that glove and with those flippers, you could do all of the Zora area, and we're 70 rupees short on DT side.
Yeah, could bomb Houlihan off of that Sanctuary drop, but...
Yep, that is an option. Oh, I didn't see where Zelga went to find this desert axis. Yeah, I think you grabbed that 300 rupees this early.
Yeah, that's basically a free roll.
Yep. Looks like DT's gonna head over to the Zora area, maybe hoping to find some money in that area to go ahead and get the item. All of it's in logic though. Oh, he's gonna go over do some Lake Hylia scouts first and check the entrances here.
And it's so great to be on this part of the map with an early glove, let alone 2 early gloves, just not having to worry about stranding entrances down here. I expect to see a decent sweep of South Shore here.
Oh, or he might do 2 warps. You know, I'm not sure what tier that tree pole he had. Maybe just a tier 1 where he got his 4 red 20s. That would give him to Zora money if that's what he's trying to do. Oh, hi, Pod.
Oh yeah, here's Pod under a glove. So yeah, we're gonna be in Pod a little bit on the left and saving quit from DT.
Actually, I think that may have been was that a reset? I'm not sure. Anyway. Not sure why he would, so.
Oh,
yeah, it was a reset.
Save scum the mushroom. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Because we know where the magic shop is. Because I was gonna say he did not. He had more money.
Don't save and quit. I guess. Sorry. And Zelga doing the judicious and right thing and just using that key on the front door.
Yeah, I mean you don't have a
no hammer.
No hammer. I mean
no
he
bow.
could, and maybe he will still do the mimic clip. But yeah, he's nice Thieves Town big key.
Yeah.
We can't do the big chest in any way, shape, or form is always fun. But yeah, makes sense.
I do like the plow straight ahead, but I kind of would have wanted to see the mimic clip first. But we're going straight to the back, just because you end up with, it's a small key to this dungeon a lot of the time.
Yeah, it happens.
But I guess with 2 smalls already,
key.
It's not gonna...
there it is!
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he'll do Harmless Hellway with that one.
Would not be shocked. I think it's a very reasonable decision.
I've heard some people say they'll do Harmless Hellway with that key if they have the big key, and they'll do there's a wow no mimic clip.
How about that?
But yeah. So
right.
do Harmless Hellway if they have the big key.
Good 6 pod small bow.
Yeah, and do the big key chest if you don't have the big key. That way, the 2 items would be in the same place if you have to go back for the big chest.
And that's fairly coherent. Makes sense. Oh, some free arrows.
Meantime, DT found Super Bunny Cave, which is by far the worst connector ever, if you have to do it multiple times. Especially if you don't have a mirror or hookshot. But he'll get an item out of this. Actually, possibly 2. He'll get some stuff.
Yeah, I feel like, there are worse situations, but there's the other bow.
Here's the other bow.
All right, so we found both our bows.
Oh, Zelga didn't quite make it through the dark maze. I think he got 1 of the chests. I don't think he got the second one.
Yeah, I think bottom right was checked. I didn't see if he made it all the way to top left.
No, I mean, he may have been doing a death warp, so maybe he did make it to the top left. I'm not sure. Because no mirror, yeah, death warp here is good. Ooh, a heart container that we can pick up. DT finding his way to Dark Death Mountain. And we have
All right.
Clippy as our bunny.
Big ups to Clippy.
Oh, and this connector, which actually you can, yeah, this is in logic as a connector. Going the other way is not, because you have to pick up pots, but I mean, you'll be in Super Bunny state, so you would do it anyway. Yeah, shout outs to the sprite makers, because I always say the coolest thing about the sprites isn't even so much the main sprite, it's all the other little details, like the bunny sprite and what things look like on different poses and stuff. And there's nothing we can do there.
This Moon Pearl there
Ooh,
on
Moon Pearl.
Mars. I was ready to
Oh
go in
yeah,
on
and
sprites,
that's
but now we have a gameplay thing to talk about.
yeah, and there's only the bow locking that. So when DT finds Pod, he's gonna be able to do that right away.
Yeah, may or may not go find that second bow all
Yeah,
the way back.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I
Yeah.
mean, because he's
Yeah.
got, I think he's got the two. Yeah, he's got the two small keys.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about cross keys is you're going to do so much, backtracking and things that just being as thorough as you can in each place is generally rewarded. And so that means you get to do all of these slightly slow and inefficient things that are kind of nifty. Like it completely makes sense to just go mimic clip right side of pod if you don't have a bow.
Yep. And we do see hookshot cave on Zelga's side, and no hookshot, not even boots, so we're not going to actually get any items out of that. And the other side of it is pretty useless, but it does allow us to mark off a mirror entrance, which is always nice.
Yeah. Well, what's nicer is just having the mirror, especially now that Moon Pearl's in play.
Yeah, mirror would be nice.
So unfortunately, we're not going to get to see Zelga's bunny sprite, at least from Dark World Walking.
Yeah, yep.
But I think he's okay with that.
I'm sure he is. Bunny walking is the worst. I mean, I used to do it a lot when I first started playing, and then I realized there's only like 4 or 5 items that you can even get as a bunny if you found it. So if I don't have at least a mirror, it's really kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's not great. We do have the the other end of Super Bunny here. The go get 2 chests and walk back out direction.
Always nice to find this first, because then when you see the front of Super Bunny, you just don't have to worry about it.
Good old 22-minute silver arrows for Zelga. That'll be, especially given the no sword, no hammer yet, the premier offensive option for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, we have a bow and we have bombs. That's our offense right now. I always like that about cross keys too. It makes you do things you wouldn't ever have to do in other modes. Because at the beginning, you're so resource deprived that you just have to, do things in different ways. By the end, I almost always have gold sword plus silvers. And so you get to have the fun of just the easy Ganon fight. But early on, you get all sorts of different things that you wouldn't normally get to do.
Even a full heart container. It looked like Turtle Rock Medallion was bombos there on the edge of the screen.
Yeah, I didn't quite see it, but looks like our trackers did, so we see it marked on the tracker.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, my eyes did not deceive me, or everyone's eyes deceived me equally.
Yeah, and shout outs to Sirius and Tofile for tracking, especially in cross keys. It's definitely a more difficult mode to track, so I always say the trackers are the MVPs, and certainly in this mode, even more so.
Yeah, tracking cross keys items, just because they come up so quickly sometimes, because you don't have time to anticipate. Like, you don't know what cave you're going to get.
Yep.
Or DT is getting his Moon Pearl, going to take that Death Warp, and we'll see how much he does. He does blue screen there. It's a little unfortunate. But back to our sprite makers, that's kind of clever. I like it for our cursor, a little blue screen. Guess he's on Windows.
Yeah, DT likes to use the cursor sprite, and he's also sometimes I've seen him use the tile sprite, which is kind of a fun one too. Also, really nice to have these silver arrows going through Castle Tower. I suspect Zelga's gonna go ahead and sequence break the second chest that you're not supposed to get without the lamp. It's not too bad if you have something to see by. Actually, that boomerang is really good for that.
Yeah, no lamp, no fire rod yet, but still not too bad to go and just get this. And it's a big key.
It's a swamp.
Hey, we take that ahead of.
Oh yeah, I mean if you
swamp.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. That is a terrible item to find after you've done swamp, but you know it's just an extra check if you find it before when you get there. So, not so you don't have to worry about leaving that big chest behind, which is always nice. One of those fetch quest big keys, I like to call them.
Yeah, exactly. That handful of keys that are going to, and there's the silvers for DT, that are going to give you sort of extra value when you get into a dungeon and avoid you having to isolate some stupid location.
Yep.
Those are always nice to find early.
Yeah, my least favorite to deal with is the Ice Palace one, because logically speaking, you need it to beat the dungeon. But most of us will just beat the dungeon without, and it's probably the longest one to get back to. Always depending on where actual locations of dungeons are, of course.
Yeah, so we'll see how DT fares in this dark maze. We'll see if that top left chest is anything. At least hopefully we'll see. Good amount of lag here. Healthy amount. I find myself watching the dark screens more diligently, which is weird because there's less to actually look at on them.
Oh, we get to look at a boomerang here, so. Yeah. Also, a nice thing about those myths, you don't have to find a connector for these Dark World locations. The entire west side of Hyrule available. Well, except mirror checks and such, but very nice. You don't have to find a connector for it.
And looks like I think DT may have gotten himself lost in the maze and just said,
"Yeah, I've done that before."
Definitely been there. It's a judicious call to just bail.
I mean, it's whatever's there is behind 6 pods small, so there's a good chance that it's nothing, especially given pod is a pendant. But you never ever know for sure. I mean, if those pod keys keep showing up, there might be something behind those 6 small keys besides that bow.
Yeah, that second bow, we know not the logical first bow.
Yep.
So maybe looking, especially if pod keys continue to drop quickly, for a little bit more logical progression behind that.
Also, maybe a lamp to push us there, or even just a sword to see better by. We did see Spike Cave there, which we can't do in any way, shape, or form right now because no hammer and no protection item or anything to help us survive if we had the hammer. And DT back in the Ice Rod Cave area. Might follow those flippers afterwards too. Zelga just gets a map. That's a lot of maps. That's a lot of digs. At least it's a dungeon we don't know anything about. It could be worse.
26 digs with a couple clinks and still managed to get off the screen without getting text boxed. So
that's impressive.
Good digs there. And is gonna rescue a frog.
Yeah, have we even seen the smith yet? I don't think we have.
No, we have, I think. Unless I'm remembering a different scene. they do scramble in my brain. I think we've seen the smith, though.
Ooh, Hyrule Castle over in the Dark Shopping Mall area. The nice thing about the smith and cross keys is he just follows you everywhere, and I believe the only way he disappears is if, and he doesn't bother you. I think he only disappears if you pick up a crystal, so even if we don't know where the smiths are, Zelda can just walk around with the smith, and when he finds the spot, he's got the smith with him. Just do it.
I think we can override him with Kiki as well, or other followers.
Oh yeah, other followers will do it too. That is true.
So there's a couple ways to get rid of this guy if you really are getting irritated by him and his weird jerky walk.
With lots of extra money, Zelda buys the extra arrow and bomb capacity. Never know when that might come in handy. A little less likely when you already have silvers, but You get so much money and you're right there. Here's the desert right side play with that small key.
Guess we'll see what DT does.
That's a reset for
Slams
sure.
that reset button.
He says, I don't need a desert small key. We'll just go to the back when and if it becomes necessary. Another dark room. Zelda doesn't want any part of it right now.
Yeah,
If that's the back of the mountain entrance, that actually wouldn't be a bad starting spot.
Yeah, I'm surprised knowing that the old man forward, like the mountain rescue cave, is known, that there wasn't more effort to diagnose that one.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Maybe he got it really quickly.
He might have been able to diagnose it with the sound that we can't hear what his sound is.
Yeah.
So. He does get an ice rod, which we don't know if we need or not.
It's another one that's good to find early.
Yep.
Just have
don't
it
have to think about it. And we're gonna get the Zora area. On the ledge is the big key. We probably want that.
Let's see. We've got at least the swamp big key out of the way for bad big keys. Have a number of good big keys already too.
Piece apart.
It's really interesting.
Nope.
how our runners are coming upon these various connectors sort of from opposite sides.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice that the seat's so open so early.
It looks like Zelga's going to do more in Hyrule Castle.
An Eastern big key with that bow.
Oh, that's nice because we can just finish Eastern if when we find it.
Exactly. Bow and Eastern big early is a great feeling. Yeah. Zelga taking the frog to the dungeon, presumably to get rid of it, but he won't be able to override it with the Zelda follower here, unfortunately.
Nope.
Because start with the open world state, so already in the sanctuary. So unfortunately, he's still going to be stuck with this frog.
Oh, one of our trackers, Tofile, is stating that the back of Mountain Star is actually the floating island, which means that was the bad connector, dark connector. It's the only one left, and that's a terrible one to follow. Big key to Turtle Rock. That's we haven't found any Turtle Rock entrances, so that's kind of nice.
I thought we'd seen one Turtle Rock.
No, we saw the front entrance. You're right.
Yeah, no cane yet, so not much action.
Nope. We haven't found any entrance to Turtle Rock we can actually do anything with. And DT also going to go into Castle Tower. It's a good thing the green guard does half a heart no matter what mail you have, because we just picked up some blue mail.
Yeah. Zelda Cell doing less than it normally does to prevent your death warp. The number of times I've gotten like piece of hearted out of Zelda Cell in terrible ways.
Thank heart's the worst.
Yeah. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah, nothing really interesting down there. Oh wait, never mind. We had that key to Turtle Rock. Maybe good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, Turtle Rock may or may not be a crystal, but it is essentially 2 checks when we have the items for it.
You're finding a lot of accessibility pieces, which is great, given that, you know, we don't have a ton of mobility. I mean, we have flippers and mitts, I guess, if they count, but no, you know, mirror, flute, boots, hook shot, things that are going to help us move around notably better, just accessibility stuff. But you know, a lot of big keys from when we finally do start getting into those dungeons. DT planning to have green mail there for that bomb.
Fortunately, Green Guard's still alive. Oh, I like how since we have the follower on Zelga's side and he's in the water, we actually see two splash icons there. That's pretty funny. Hardest part about this, of course, is finding that key rat, and Zelga says it's no problem for me. I'll just find it and be done.
It looks like DT, no follower, but is also going to make similar play here.
Yeah, and Zelga setting up another death. Hey, a sword! Yay!
That's a nice prize there.
That's a really nice
for making
prize.
that play.
The rats are terrible
Now,
for.
I was gonna say, now the blue male is.
Oh no, he came in from the dark world. Those are not rats. Those are crickets.
Yeah, they hurt.
Which is good and bad. It's good when you want to do want to death warp, and really bad if you just want to get through. DT only on 2 hearts. If he runs into one of those rats, it's a one-hit KO. Although I'm not sure he came in. He might have come in from a different entrance, so it may not be the crickets here. For those of you that don't know, certain enemies will do damage based on whether you come from the dark world or the light world in any of these places. So the crickets in Thieves Town will do rat damage because they found Thieves Town in the light world. Whereas having come in through the dark world for Hyrule Castle, those rats will do cricket damage.
Yeah, which we see DT trying to be extra careful here. Ooh, and
yeah, unfortunately, it takes
picked off here.
That's really tough. Like there's so little to see from it. That sword is sitting there in the back to help you out.
Yeah, I don't. It looks like he might be going back.
Yeah, he's going back.
No,
no, he's gonna check other entrances.
I think I'd bail there. So I agree with this call. We know that he's missing on a sword, which
that's
a little
a shame.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, no boots, so he can't go back in that way. It's a shame because if he could have gone back in that way, he could have gotten the light world version of everything, so it'd be a little bit safer. Yeah, it's kind of funny that Zelga's doing the Ice Rod area before or after the Dark Shopping Mall. Sadly, no mirror to pair them together.
Yeah, they are paired together though through that old woman's hut.
Yeah.
So you can kind of do it without the mirror.
I didn't notice this on.
Though.
Yeah, didn't notice this on DT side. We have a mimic cave over there, but with no hammer.
So it looks like we're going back through to the Dark Shopping Mall, transmuting our Smith back into Frog.
Yeah, he may be wanting to check those entrances. Hope he gets the right one first, but he probably won't.
Yeah, getting shut out by the Boots entrance. So it looks like he is going to go for the right side.
You know what? He took that Death Warp. He might have taken that one already. So now doing this one to see where it goes. And Desert spitting us out at... Was that at Pod? I think it was. So now DT's going to have a follower for a little bit and an expensive... Well, not that expensive. A 10 rupee follower. Meanwhile, Zelga's going to check the eastern entrance. But that Ropa will take care of Kiki there.
Yeah, I feel like a couple times where I've had Pod be an important entrance, I've probably spent more on Kiki just like 10 at a time using as a connector than if I just picked up the stupid monkey and then like paid him 100 to open the entrance.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Gone for good.
All right, another fairy there for DT that we don't care about. I might have taken the refill at 2.5 hearts in the Dark World, but he says, nope, I'm fine.
It's really interesting seeing our runners sort of in, like crisscrossing each other between light
Yeah.
and dark world, but very similar sort of geographic locations on the map. Numerous times. But looks like we might be headed toward the Smith here for this turn in. Almost.
Oh, is this where the Smith is? Okay. Smith has to be in the light world for those of you that don't know.
Yeah. So.
And
there it is. We finally got rid of him.
Yeah, thank you for finally bringing me back.
Well, what he's good for here.
He's got to have something good after that truck. Nope, just a shield.
That's great. Thanks, guy.
He says, you kept turning me back into a frog. I'm not giving you anything good.
Charge you $10. Here's a shield.
Oh, well, with the new knowledge that
Ooh,
the shield lag is the same no matter which shield, it's once you get one, you don't care as much if you get the other ones.
Have we seen Spectacle Rock yet?
I don't think we have.
I don't think we've seen any of the Spectacle Rock connections.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. It looks like DT check the item is just gonna go walk out. But let's see where he is, because sometimes you'll come back to a connector after a couple other entrances.
Oh yeah, you're almost at Catfish. This makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, come back after Catfish and then do it.
Yeah, although not too bad to get back to, given that I don't think it was too bad to get down to the Ice Rod Cave area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
because you could take that portal.
Although I don't remember if there was a good way down into that area, so maybe it was just kind of a slow walk.
Catfish for us today, just rupees.
Could have had one of those in Spectacle Rock. Gosh.
Yes, you could have.
Yeah, we'll see if we get a Spec Rock connector here.
Zelga finds the big chest. At the bomb jump you can do there, I don't think lets you get the big chest. Which is kind of unfortunate because we have the big key.
You can. You can bomb jump that big chest.
Oh, you can.
It's very similar to the bomb jump that we might see on DT's side.
Yeah, the bomb jump I'm used to is the one where you go sequence break the other entrance.
Yeah, the free rail clip bomb jump, but there's also like a further up, like using the rail to just extend, kind of like the Spec Rock one.
And that bomb
jump, it's a little tighter.
Yeah, the bomb jump that DT ended up doing just enables him to mark off an entrance. We can't actually get to that entrance until Hammer, so I like the way the fairy just kept trailing him there, the boomerang. That was pretty good.
Is I'm about to get his Eastern big key. There it is. And
yeah, another entrance we can just mark off. Which was in logic. You could have gotten to it the other way, but
yeah, it kind of feels bad because you had mitts, like you could have known.
Yeah. Of course, when you check that entrance, if you don't have the mirror, it's end game. So like if it, so when you would check it, you'd have to.
It looks like we might be seeing that bomb jump. Looks like the setup's good, and yep.
Yeah, there we go. And it's just a compass.
Yeah.
Although I mean, compasses at Ganon's Tower are not the worst in the world because it's 27 items there. But yeah, definitely not what he was hoping for.
Yeah, he is also gonna get him up here to the crystal roller.
Yeah, I like this, and this will be a really easy death warp when he's done.
Oh yeah.
Hey, there's another shield.
Just another shield, but
makes the blind fight easier when he gets there. DT can check out the Skullwoods area. No fire rod, no Skullwoods big key. So a couple things he'll leave behind. I tend to like to do this after I have those items, but sometimes you just don't get a choice.
Yeah, so far, reasonable mummy statue. I mean, this blue Bari is being a jerk.
Yeah, he is.
Wow, what a guy. It looks like we're getting the full 4-item play here in Turtle Rock for Zelga. Makes very reasonable sense. Oh, we do get that bunny
There he
right
is.
there. I don't know what sort of Teletubby thing that is, but it's kind of
Okay.
nifty looking nonetheless.
Okay, I was about to say that chest is behind 4 smalls, but when it is the 4th small, it's actually only behind 3 smalls for Turtle Rock. It's like, yeah, we have the bad layout for Skullwoods, and DT gonna grab the small key here.
This Blue Boom coming up big. And just a death orb. So nothing in Turtle Rock, but a good,
Ooh.
fairly quick clear of those 4 items for Zelga.
Fire Rod in front of Skullwoods.
Ooh. That's
So we are a Cane of Samaria and a weapon. No, I'm not doing Trinex with a fighter sword. We are a better sword or a hammer away from being able to finish Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we got half magic.
Yeah, I mean,
Not so bad.
it is possible. Yeah, you can kill the heads with the rods. It takes a lot of magic. I'm not sure half magic is enough. You might need half magic in a bottle, but it is definitely doable. In fact, it's how I used to kill Trinex as a kid, because I didn't realize, I thought that's what you had to do. I didn't realize you could, start the damage with the rods and then switch to your sword.
Unfortunately, I feel like as a kid when I played this, I just have so little memory of specific strats. Like, I don't remember what I felt like I had to do. I know I was able to beat the game through some means or another, but like I remember using a lot of bombs on Helmasaur King, but I don't remember too much else.
Yeah, I think I'm showing my age a little bit for that one. Okay, DT gonna do the Castle Tower play.
Yeah, and with the Fire Rod, kind of nice and cozy dark rooms. This Blue Guard's a jerk though.
Always. With the Fire Rod, he might give another shot at finishing up Hyrule Castle. Still not in logic. The cross keys does not do the advanced logic where torches open up rooms with the Fire Rod does not open up rooms with torches. Yeah, and here we go again with Zelga is going to do this not backwards, but the other way from the way DT checked this entrance.
Yeah, we'll be able to get rid of another follower for good.
Yep.
So
He's got plenty of money, so it's all good.
yeah, it's good to just be able to get rid of 100 rupees and Kiki. And ooh, just the main desert entrance. So not really what you wanted to see here. I couldn't remember.
I knew it was a
connecting to
connector,
this.
but I didn't know which one it was. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
So we're starting to get a little bit thinner on,
Yeah.
what's out there to do.
Yeah, it's hard to say what the progression is. We've done some out of logic stuff.
I'm personally
I
getting
think we've
really
done everything.
worried.
I think we've done everything in pod and logic and some things that aren't.
Yeah, I'm getting worried about the 3 items that we have left available in Thieves Town.
That's a good call.
I'm starting to get concerned about those at this point.
Yeah, DT needs that sword. Well, no. Well, okay. 2 items, right? Because we can't. 2 items because we.
Oh yeah, we
the
can't.
sword's
we
not in
can't kill
logic, so
blind.
technically, I mean,
Yeah.
Zelda can kill blind, but it's not in logic.
Where is Sanctuary?
Lumberjack.
Lumberjack. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and DT's gonna go get his sword, so that'll be good for him.
Yeah, now with the fire rod, this is even cozier. It was pretty harrowing earlier, honestly.
Yeah, he's got a lot more hearts too, so this shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
And can skip the Dark Cross chest because he already did it.
Speaking of where is Sanctuary, questions answered.
Yay,
There's
sword.
DT's sword.
And
Thinking
a
why couldn't that have just been in Dark Cross, right?
I know, right? That would have been really helpful. And with blue mail, those rats will do 1 damage from the Dark World side of things.
Yeah, it looks like Zelga won't be far behind to that fire rod, so we'll see.
That fire rod
go from here.
at the moment doesn't even open up anything.
I guess
if
DT
they had access,
doesn't have East exit yet.
But yeah, I mean, if they had boots or a hook shot, they could do some mire checks. That fire rod would open it. Well, I guess technically those fire checks are behind 3 small keys, but no one worries about that. Other than to note whether it's in logic or not. You don't not check it.
Yeah, that's the thing with cross keys is like you don't not check it. You just keep tabs on it in your head as much as you can about where you are in the logic.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really good to know all your logical key situations as best as you can, but no one's gonna say, "Hey, I don't have all 3 small keys. I'm not gonna do the left side checks in Mire."
Yeah, they might say, "I was in here without a fire source earlier and beat the dungeon, and so I'm not going back until I find the 3rd one."
That'd be reasonable. That'd be absolutely reasonable.
Yeah, if you're there and you have, well, especially if you have the fire rod, you're probably doing both. If you have the lamp, sure, you might say, "Heck, cutscene chest," but probably not. You know, unless there's like a bunch of stuff ahead of you and you're in like go -1 or something, then I could see it.
Oh, here's a check we have not seen: purple chest.
Yeah.
If this is something DT is gonna have to, because he hasn't done the smith yet.
Yeah, this is the end of a slow chain that if this pays out, then Zelga is in good sorts.
It's like he wants to check some things on the way, which aren't on the way.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen the curiosity shop yet.
Oh, if we haven't, we're about to.
Yeah.
And it's a shop.
Curious. And we're gonna continue to play.
And DT might be heading over to Thieves Town right now.
I guess, do we have the glove entrance up here? The lift rock entrance? I think that might be the other big outstanding thing over here. Don't know. I think we've seen Dark Sanctuary.
Yeah, DT in Thieves Town.
Okay, yeah. This makes sense.
Now, I don't think we saw this, but we can't do anything with it yet because we haven't found the dam. We have the flippers. We have the small key. We don't have the hook shot. We don't have a hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, nice shovel.
Great. Thanks, game.
Oh gosh.
It's a classic cross keys.
Even without the hammer, that would be 2 items if or 2 chests if we had the dam yet. Yeah, purple chest doesn't like to go places.
Take the purple chest someplace nice. It's weird that the purple chest complains more than the frog does.
I know, right?
You would not think that that would be the case, but here we are. About to get a little bit more info about what's going on in Thieves Town. Now, this is one of those ones that's behind the small key, right?
Yeah.
So I guess this one was not logically available, but again, one of those things that
Yeah, you'll have to
you
turn
do
back
it.
those. Yeah, I'll turn back those 20 rupees. And Zelga going to be faced with a decision here and just, yeah. Well, I mean, at least scout the item, but
Yeah.
we'll see if I don't think he's going to follow the connector right now because
Yeah,
he wants to turn that purple chest.
I think you say I'm not losing that purple chest at this point. Although, not too bad to get back to it with Sanctuary at Lumberjack and Mitts.
Yeah, not the worst. Okay, we're about to get the in-logic Thieves Town check.
I would not be surprised to see something here, but we'll see. Hey.
Thanks, game. You gotta give us the hammer, but we don't have the small keys, so we can't actually go to the big chest.
Yeah, that's a crap location right there.
And what does the hammer even open other than better dark? Well, because we already have all the hammer pegs, and we saw Mimic Cave.
Yeah, we don't have the keys for Pod yet.
I mean, we could beat Pod for the green pendant, but I don't think anybody. I think both of them have used up all their keys.
Yeah, not really looking forward to it. Have we seen Mimic Cave? I think we've seen.
Yeah,
Mimic
we
Cave
saw
somewhere.
Mimic Cave. I forget where it was. We definitely saw it.
And I guess we need to find the dam. If the dam's like at Hammer Pegs or something, then we've got Swamp.
Yep. Or we can find a mirror.
That's sketch. That is super sketchy.
We've seen a couple of mirror locations already on connectors. I don't think we've seen all. We definitely haven't seen all of them. But yeah, it does open some stuff.
This is one of those ones where I trust that small key's just out there somewhere, and I am plowing ahead with this fun DT. We'll see if this Thieves Town small key and purple chest.
That is a small key.
Yo! Let's go.
Wow. Okay. Well, if Zelka goes and does Thieves Town and gets his hammer, we're gonna find out what's there. Yeah, whether DT might have to backtrack.
See that Thieves Town follow up here.
Also, by the way, one of the easiest dark rooms in the game is this one that Zelga's in right now. In contrast to the connector that's got probably one of the hardest with all the pits. Zelga can make the trek past the Lionels and check the 2 entrances over there. So definitely a nice advantage for DT. Way too early to talk about leads of any sort.
Yeah, getting around the Smith chain. That's that's a nice break for DT. That's one of those ones that's just going to strictly end up being in his favor.
As long as there's nothing in the big chest. So I really want to see Zelga go to Thieves Town so we can find out what's in that.
Yeah, that's true. Chest. But with it already paying out mirror behind hammer.
Yeah, really nice.
Or not behind hammer, but hammer and then mirror behind the small. It would be weird if Thieves' big chest was something, but it wouldn't be unprecedented.
Yeah, exactly. The question is, when does Zelga go to Thieves Town?
Yeah,
like you're trying to wait for the hammer to do it.
Exactly. The hammer placement is so gruesome in this.
Yeah.
For Zelga, but I don't know. I think there's enough going on that, like, you got the Thieves' big key in a pretty conspicuous situation. Then you got the Thieves' small key in a super suspicious spot.
Yeah.
like, there's not a lot left on the map. I don't expect it to take too long to get over there, but
Yeah, exactly.
Zelga is much better than I am at this, so I
Oh.
trust that his decision making is sound. In
Yeah,
that
even more
regard.
so for me. He's in Kakariko, so I know Thief Town's over here, so that might be his next destination. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. He turned in that mushroom. Sadly, just 20 rupees.
There's always that balance of like you want to put it off until you have all the things, but like sometimes the game just kind of yells at
Sometimes,
you a little
yeah,
bit.
sometimes the game just says no.
Yeah, and okay, I'm glad to see that, probably with some amount of regret, Zelga is making this play.
Yep. We'll see if DT can actually avoid this miss, because hopefully he does hammer pegs. Hopefully that's something.
Yeah, with the mirror now. I mean, I guess the Smith turn-in's pretty bad without flute to also go with that.
Yeah.
But even still, with the mirror, if you're routing down, not
Hammer pegs.
unreasonable.
He's gonna do hammer pegs first, which I think is smart. And then he has that mirror to check the other side of the other brothers. I don't know if I assume they scouted. I didn't catch them scouting the race game item. If that's something good, he would prioritize it. So if it's something neutral like a key, then you probably just get it on path instead of doing this first, or with doing this first. Just a fairy. So maybe it's might be mimic. Oh, we also have. Oh, I was about to say Spike Cave. We still don't have any protection items or even a bottle to make it viable, so that's not going to be it.
Yeah, we will find out what the race game small key was here soon.
Oh, it is a small key?
And
Okay.
I think so, if I remember right. And I think chat was saying, yeah, Tofile was saying also the same. So probably a small key. I'm also very interested in what pops up in this not yet openable for Zelga, but very soon openable Thieves Town Big Chest.
Yeah. There's that small key to desert.
Okay, well that's not gonna feel
it puts
great for
the
DT.
trash that DT found in logic. But I'm also going to point out that he went and had grabbed those, a bomb there. He could have just picked up a bush, but he's back up to 10 because he bought some.
And here we go on Zelga's side. This is
big chest,
big swing potential right here. And yeah, womp. Not too surprised.
Not surprised at all. Hopefully DT doesn't get himself in one of those go -1s where you just start checking all the dumb spots like that.
I mean, that one's very, very low on the tier list, especially with Mirror being on blind. I really doubt that you're ever going back for that one.
He's not going back for that one unless we're near last locationing it.
I'm just trying to figure out what other last locations that this seed could have available am I doing after that. I don't think there's any.
I mean, Ice Palace Big Chest is probably worse. But we don't even have Ice Palace location found yet, let alone the big key there.
Yeah. Very nice blind script from Zelga there. Gets that mirror.
Things in just really crap locations that you can't get back to. Like that shovel. Of course, we need a connector to get to it, but yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna pop out of that shovel one.
Yeah, that big chest in Thieves Town is way down on the priority list for sure.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't exist for DT.
Pretty much. Oh, good Ice Rod Cave. Maybe something's here. Or maybe not. Good Ice Rod Cave having nothing. Bad
Yeah.
Ice Rod Cave we shot before. The Bad Ice Rod Cave is one I like to call the one with the where you have to bomb the door. I like to call that Bad Ice Rod Cave because it doesn't have anything. Oh, big key here to Skull Mounds. That's
That's
not
good
as
for
bad as
Zelga.
yeah, it's not as bad as the big key as the Thieves Town big chest. You can get to that fairly easily.
Also, it can send him back toward his fire rod, which we know
Oh,
he
that's
needs
right.
out of that bad Skull Woods.
Yeah, I didn't realize he didn't
Yeah,
continue Skull
he
Woods and
bailed
get
on
that.
it on layout, I guess, and so that Skullwoods big is actually a pretty fortunate situation for Zelga.
I also forgot that that mirror opens up all those East Death Mountain checks, so Zelga's gonna prioritize the mountain and get
Yeah,
some of these checks here.
and DT is at least going for the shield side of his shield and Thieves Town small. We'll see if he ever goes back for the purple chest, but it's probably on his radar.
Yeah, I mean, early mitts, it would definitely be on my radar, but I don't think you do it. There's if there's other things that you have, yeah, do those first. Oh, there's Ice Palace, and we can't do, well, DT
Yeah,
could do it if he found it.
yeah.
Zalgo, no Bombos, no Fire Rod, can't do anything there. And hi, GT. Can't
Oh,
do a lot here, though.
howdy. Yeah, and again, the no fire rod, no cane situation here, and then
Can't
I
do
mean,
right side at all.
yeah, we can do a
Could
lot of
do
left
he
side if we
yeah,
want.
he could do if he wants to bomb jump, he can do left side. Bomb jumping without boots is a commitment.
I
He's
mean,
got 11 bombs though, so he certainly
yeah.
can do it.
Oh yeah, it's
It's just a
commitment's a good
much
way of
better
putting it.
yeah, it's just a much better sequence break when you have boots to help you out on these
We might see like
things.
limited left side and then call it for now, but
Yep. Some runners like to just do the Stalfos room. We'll see if he does more than that.
oh
Ugh, wow, just going to show how annoying this
yeah.
is.
After setting up that first palm jump, that first one can be a little tricky. But okay, this will be good.
This looks good, yeah. He's got the mirror out, so I don't think he's doing anything more than this check. Oh, Spike Cave now available. Red mail.
Okay. More
I don't know if
bombs.
I don't think you rush Spike Cave because
Yeah.
not in logic, but you know, when you're there, you might try and route it into something else.
Like that dapper red suit now.
Yeah. Good thing we have mirror now, because that red mail not gonna help us with death warps.
Yeah, red mail before mirror is my least favorite item in this game. It's really, really bad.
Oh, is that the first time we've seen Paradox Cave?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think DT wants to check this last entrance,
think-
and then he'll go
yeah.
check it.
I think we haven't seen that before. A bottle.
Hey, now when we find Sick Kid, we can actually do something.
Hmm? Yeah, having two back-to-back zones that really want you to have Fire Rod, now granted no Red Cane, kind of a rough break, but hopefully, the things that Zelga has found don't keep him away from Skullwoods for too long with that big key showing up.
I don't think we've seen these entrances from Zelga. Oh,
Double bottles.
this one, I think we've seen the other. This is the other, I believe the other bad dark room, the Death Mountain Descent. So I think we've seen both sides of that now, so don't even have to worry about it. By the way, I really wonder where that lamp is, because we still don't have a logical sword. Mini Moldorm, not with much. Oh, sorry, that wasn't Mini Moldorm.
Yeah.
DT's in Mini Moldorm.
Lamp does love to lock itself in Ice Palace behind the fire rod,
It
so
does. A mini Molotov
I
really didn't have much.
wouldn't be too
Paradox Cave.
surprised.
Paradox Cave also not having much. I also always hate to find the castle connector when you can't actually go through the barrier. Sadly, Blue
Yeah,
Cane
with
does not do it for you. Just cape.
Mids Flip's mirror hammer, like not too bad to get back and chase that one if you
Yeah.
really need it.
Yep.
And we'll see what that exit down here is.
Oh,
It's
hi, shovel.
our shovel and
And
an
another
extra
entrance.
entrance.
And could be
good.
could be something. Could be something here.
An item dead end. That's always nice.
Yeah, except not a
Yeah.
very good item.
It's one more thing off the map.
Yep.
Anytime you can simplify sort of the dimensionality of your map in this
Yep.
mode, my very smooth brain appreciates that.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, I just never need to worry about going out the bottom of Paradox again. I've got the shovel. We're good to go. I have my crappy location mirror ahead of it, and okay, here we go. Going for our fire rod, probably.
Yeah, and sadly, DT checking Spiral Cave first, Spiral Cave being nothing, will not be able to. He'll have to loop around if he wants to end up at Ice Palace. We'll be able to get into GT though, because he has mitts to pick up the rock.
That's another GT small.
GT small.
Is that our third?
I
it's at
see
least our
4
second.
listed. Yeah, I see a 4 on Zelga's side.
Okay, wow. Yeah, trust our trackers then.
So
that's a lot of GT smalls.
That's climb.
Yeah, with that early big key and Cack well behind. No hook shot yet, so
that's even scarier because
it would have to Moldorm bounce it.
Yeah, well, and Moldorm bounce is scary because that means he can't get the item.
Exactly. It's not really anyone's first choice thing to do.
But yeah, I mean, the logic could require you to climb to get one of the first 3 items. I had a mirror up there once, and I can't hover or Moldorm bound, so couldn't finish it. And it was Vanilla Ganon too.
Yeah, I just switched controllers recently after quite a while, so everything is a little weird. And I had a Vanilla Ganon the other night, and I was just like, well, we're hovering this as many tries as it takes because I'm not climbing again.
Fair enough.
So hopefully that doesn't happen to our runners.
Yeah, hopefully Hookshot will show itself before the last items left to do is that climb.
I think we'll see where DT goes. Oh, straight down the hole here.
Yeah, I think his plan was to check the other entrance first, but since he fell down, just might as well do this one since you have the mirror.
Yep, absolutely. And gonna see his compass here and similarly tick this off. Thanks, Hammer Hitbox. I want to see DT or Zelga at this point with that fire rod end up in Ice Palace sometime fairly soon.
Yep. Zelga knows where it is. It wouldn't surprise me if DT loops back around to check those other entrances. For that matter, it wouldn't surprise me if Zelga loops back around to get the one that he missed too. The one he missed though is just a shop, so not a big deal. And Zelga is going to get his Desert Small, which might lead him back to Desert since he didn't steal the key and has not done the right side there yet. Not sure where he landed there that he mirror bonked, but
He was in the front wall of the house.
Ooh, that would be
It
a
was
problem.
just a little bit high on the Y pixel, unfortunately. Not a common one, but just I'm trying to save frames.
Yeah, it's funny. Like if you think about what the runner's reactions probably are to that desert small, DT is probably rolling his eyes like, yeah, I already checked that, and Zelga's like, oh, that's 2 more checks. Maybe something's there. That would be my reaction if it were me, from either one of those perspectives. Yeah, DT forgetting that he checked these.
Maybe wants to go through the
Maybe,
long
yeah,
way here through
he might
Fairy
want the
Ascension
connector.
Cave.
Yeah, he
I
might
don't
want
remember
the
where it
connector,
goes.
and I know that even as best as I can track, it's not unusual when you have those 2 caves next to each other to choose the wrong one. I forget where this came from, though. I do remember the DT did it as a bunny. Oh, okay. So this will get
Yeah.
him Ice Palace. So that's good. And I bet he'll do some of it. You can. He has the items to full clear except the big chest. You don't actually need small keys for this. It kind of sucks without Kane or Hookshot, though.
Yeah, but most of Cross Keys, again, is just doing things that suck.
Yeah, so true.
With weird loadouts and just getting it done when you get there. So we're gonna see a nice bomb pen gator.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun strat, honestly.
Oh yeah, I like this one. Unfortunately, a little bit of a
Arrows will help
hiccup.
us out here.
Silver arrows are a great band-aid for strats that go sideways in a lot of rooms.
Yeah, they are. And we're going to see both runners in Ice Palace at the same time, because Zelga, knowing it's there and having that fire rod now, also going to check it out.
And again, not at all surprised to see this end up being the play for both runners. Is it super desirable? No, everyone wants to have Kane when they come here now, but you got your hammer and fire rod and mirror and you kind of have most of the things that you want.
I would want a hook shot if I don't have Kane, but you just do it anyway. I do believe that the right side is not in logic in cross keys unless you actually have that hook shot. There's no key layout issues for that you have in the normal game. But you probably do it anyway. If you either by stealing a small key from somewhere or doing there's a bomb jump you could do. We always say the Ice Palace bomb jump, which is the one we just saw from DT. But frankly, we have several others that are pretty standard and good to know.
There's
including this one that
5 or so of them.
Yeah, something like that.
The forbidden 5th one where you just don't want to walk through the fire bar on the ice platform. Yeah,
we're gonna see that one of those bomb jumps right here.
I think we're gonna get a nice little bomb jump showcase. Here we're seeing another nice bomb jump from DT.
Well done.
Free X pixel, just Y pixel perfect on that one.
And he'll get that chest on the way down. And we have to remember to pull the tongue because we're doing this from the normal way.
Yeah, the not so often seen anymore tug of the tongue.
Yeah, so I'm also going to do this bomb jump.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, another out-of-logic sword. Let's go.
Where are our logical swords today?
Or the things that put them in logic, either way.
Yeah. So, down to 3 bombs for DT. Bomb jump potential somewhat limited.
Well, he's done the ones that are the most important. You can save some keys, with a Well, no, he can't even. Yeah, the bomb jump to get to Ice Tea is not even going to do anything for him because he doesn't have the small key to go in through the big icy room. So
Exactly. No small key there yet. So we're just dropping down.
and I assume he'll come up and around to do Ice Tea. But yeah, you asked what you're gonna prioritize less than the Thieves Town big chest. I definitely think this Ice Palace big chest would be after the Thieves Town big chest on the priority list if we see the big key to Ice Palace.
I disagree with that though. I think I'd come back for this one first, assuming that we don't find something else logically behind the Ice Palace big key because of the mirror behind the small key already.
That's reasonable. I just think this is the worst spot.
It's definitely a worse spot. I just think I would get back to it first because of where the
logic,
mirror was.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fortunately, we have half magic, and I do believe they both have a green potion, so the fact that we only have a Master Sword should not matter for this fight on Cold Stare. Just fire rod him to death, it'll be quick.
Half magic, fire rod, hammer.
Yep, and like I said, I think they both have green potions, so if they run out of magic, they can just refill.
And Master Sword is like a luxury we don't need.
Yeah.
In this fight, like I don't really expect it to be used for anything other than the initial spin.
Yeah, same.
We'll see how much of a role it plays. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a couple little bats into the corner here.
Yeah, reasonable in that corner. And then you can switch to the fire rod here and finish him off pretty quickly. Yeah, very nicely done.
Clean enough fight. And not really much here in Ice Palace, but it is a crystal.
Nothing. We got a crystal, and we didn't know we were getting crystal. Or did we? Because I see it lit up as a 5-6 on the tracker, but I don't recall seeing the bomb shop.
I guess we have an Ice Palace map.
Oh, that could be. Somebody might have looked at the map.
DT did a map check.
SerioX, one of our trackers telling us, yeah, DT did the map check.
We'll see. Okay, Zelga, very limited employment of the Master Sword. A little more what I expected. Very clean fire rod splash damage there, keeping Cold in the corner.
See if DT sequence breaks any of this. Nope.
Nope. Don't even think he wanted to get a look at what was on the torch.
No, apparently not. I mean, if you're gonna come back here anyway, you're hoping to have the boots by then, or at least a hook shot where you're just gonna go buy it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, reasonable.
We are gonna see the castle tower entrance though. With that double out-of-logic sword.
Out-of-logic swords, and it's junk.
Nothing. Like, you forget how many fortune tellers there are until you start playing cross keys, and they just keep coming. And Zelka can do the out-of-logic spike cave check with that out-of-logic cane.
Where'd this blue cane come from again?
GT.
GT, that's right, Stalfos room.
Yeah, so this won't be the hook shot.
Absolutely not.
DT remembering the shovel.
Hoofing it back out.
Looks like. Small key to Turtle Rock. Okay.
Turtle Rock still not got a lot going on without that red cane.
Yeah, and we haven't found Laser Bridge, so we can't do those items yet. Now, was Mimic Cave over here near Ice Rod Cave? Because that might be where Zelga's going next.
I think it was. I think it was the right entrance, like the top right one, but I am not sure. The top left was the Dark World connector.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if DT's going to take those pod smalls and do a little more of that. it looks like.
Yep. So we'll see if it was in fact Mimic Cave all along.
Yes.
It was. It
Oh
was in
my.
fact Mimic Cave all along. That is a big find there for Zelga.
Yeah, that puts right side GT in logic. That gives us a whole lot of Turtle Rock we can suddenly do. And yeah, Zelka's gonna check those right side desert checks.
Yeah, this is actually a nice set of checks to be able to route together because of not having stolen that desert key. May have gotten Zelga back to Mimic Cave just a little bit sooner.
Yeah, and DT found a Misery Mire small key in the big key chest of Pod. Reset it. Doesn't need it. You don't actually need any keys to do Misery Mire. So, and there are 3 out there in the wild. Just go keep track of the fact that it's available.
Yeah, so GT is all the way up on, like, right by Ice Palace too, so Kane there feels kind of bad, but
Yeah.
I wonder when Zelga gets back up to it. Because, like, it's got to be weighing pretty heavily on your mind. You've got everything to go through right side pretty deep.
Yeah, well, he's gonna do some Turtle Rock first.
Makes sense. He'd get your Turtle Rock back exit, which we've not yet seen the Mire area.
I mean, he can finish the dungeon.
Yeah. Not unreasonable.
Yeah,
not
that's
logical,
always
but...
yeah. Always the tricky part here is, do you check the entrance to Laser Bridge? Because if it's an entrance you can't go back through, then you can't finish the dungeon. But if you finish the dungeon, you can't check the entrance to Mimic Cave unless you go all the way back through, because it's going to take you to the front.
With Turtle Rock East being so easy to get to, I think you definitely check, like, you gamble the Mimic Cave or the Laser Bridge exit.
I think that's reasonable.
I don't see not checking that here, especially, again, without having Mire area yet. But we'll see what Zelga does. Again, definitely a better player than me, so I would defer to his decision making.
For sure. Doing the Laser Bridge checks first, because, maybe you get boots here or something, and then it makes the decision easier, because I think most of the places we can't get through are boots checks. Now, there's always actual GT entrance, which is never fun when you find it. But this is fine. This is checkerboard cave entrance. We can go back through there.
Yeah, a nice, easy, impossible to get trapped. Given that the entrance you took was it wasn't behind the glove. I thought it was behind the glove for a second, but it was not. So yeah, early enough glove, not trapped.
All right. And DT gonna drag that purple chest around and eventually get that Thieves Town small key.
And then say, okay, that's how I was supposed to get that mirror. or say, oh, and then just promptly not care.
Well, if it were me, it would be weighing on my mind, but yeah, I'm not, as you said, not gonna go back anytime soon. And Zelga's gonna use a bunch of that fire rod for the ice head.
Yeah,
really. Rod isn't doing that splash damage. It actually does. It's a little faster than using the ice rod on the fire head.
Yeah, very, very nice ice head. Or fire head, rather. The fire head went great. Ice head also fine.
20 rupees. But the nice thing is, now that he's beaten Trinex, he'll take him back. The fact that it's going to take him to the front of the dungeon means it's very easy to just do those checks.
Yeah, exactly. You can pop right back in with the cane, get compass, get right side with that fire rod.
Yep.
He's already done up through chomps. Like, this is just going to be really nice.
I think this will be everything in Turtle Rock for him. I think this will be Turtle Rock done. DT gonna spend one more of those. DT looks like he's going for the. I think he's going for the green pendant. Not in logic again, because we don't have all 6 pod smalls and don't have a lamp. But very doable. I think I'd like the play better if this were a crystal. But I mean, green pendant could be something. Or oh, he didn't get the other dark maze item, so he's gonna go get that first, I think. And then he might. We'll see if he mirrors out and goes for the clear. A book. That's always fun, especially after we've already done all those area checks.
Yeah, that is exactly. Well, it's not so bad because it can give you an excuse to get back up to GT.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a really good point. You can do that. Yeah, because
Like
we have 3 checks out of it because we haven't found the mire area, so we haven't been able to go into the main desert entrance. Yeah, and DT is going to go ahead and finish up pod.
Lets you consolidate sort of a few bad location checks.
Yeah,
we saw that kind of come into play with getting the fire rod on Zelga's side, just being able to consolidate the Skullwoods big key with the stranded portion of Skullwoods into the fire rod. Just getting volume done in an efficient way has worked out pretty well so far.
Okay, another map check from Zelga. I didn't quite catch anything.
Yeah, and then this is exactly what I thought it was, which is taking that book directly to Ether tab, and this is
I like this.
The logical play. And we'll see what DT gets out of pod here.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what DT gets. I mean, if this is something good, being that it's a pendant, if the Helma drops something or the green pendant has something, it might be a while before Zelga decides to go there. You might want to wait for a few more small keys and or a lamp.
I mean, absolutely. If you find something in the bad spot in cross keys,
yeah,
then like that can be very, very game changing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Zelga hadn't done Spiral Cave check. We know that's nothing. And fortunately, the GT check is the one just behind these Mitts rocks.
Exactly. So this is a great way to get that entrance out of the way and get right over to right side GT.
And you can do Ice Armos. You can go all the way to the back. We can check the big chest. We'll see what he does. The more interesting thing is, what does he do after that? Does he do a climb? Does he do sequence break more of the left side?
I think if we find a hook shot and then haven't really found much else, that climbing for 9 items is fine.
Yeah, I think a GT climb here is fine.
Hookshot also is going to say, well, go find the damn entrance, and then you can do your Swamp Palace.
Yep. Climb without hookshot again. Ugh. Now, Zelka can do a Moldorm bounce, but that's a scary play when there could be an item there that you need the hookshot for.
And I like this Samaria strat that I've been seeing more recently for Tile Room.
Too.
Just to basically auto clear out that last block and be sure that it's gone ahead of that Wall Master coming down, getting that chest to spawn.
A DT over here without the book. Turtle Rock map, bombs, 20 rupees, and a small key to ice. That would have been nice.
All right.
And just a Turtle Rock small key on the green pendant turned, so really nothing on nothing on or behind Helmasaur.
Yeah, not great. Could get DT over to that book. I'm not super stoked about the book.
No.
Although Desert Palace being Hera wouldn't shock me.
No, that's a good call.
Because we're still missing Tower of Hera. We're missing the dam. Like I could see the book leading us to either of those.
Yeah, and we haven't seen the back of Skull Woods. That's another one. So still quite a few entrances that we haven't seen yet. And I like the Zelga. I like the play where you do the big chest first. Useless map, completely useless map, since we knew pretty early that that was green pendant. And I'm gonna do a bomb jump here. And yeah, DT gonna get his. What was this? Was Canis Samaria, right?
Yeah, this is. I think the last big piece of like definite progression.
Yeah.
That we have. Although here's another entrance for us off that Bombos medallion.
That's a terrible place for that. Like you're nowhere near. Like you're near, but not near.
It's great.
Not able to get to.
It's great that the floating island is not hard to get to in this scene.
Yeah,
like that's the one saving grace for all of this terrible East Death Mountain, Dark Death Mountain stuff that we have going on, is that we can get to that floating island.
Oh, there's that big key to Hera, which is nice because we don't have a hook shot yet. So we find Hera, we can just do it. Oh, Zelga can do it. He's gonna climb.
All right, we might be seeing some bounce. Because I don't think you climb here and then don't finish it with Cackwell behind.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, unless it's your, last location. Yeah, I mean, because you can hope the hook shot's up here, but I'm pretty certain he does have other options at the very least. The Bombos tablet and the
yeah. I mean, there's the book stuff
entry
and Turtle Rock entrance now.
Yep.
This is just a consolidation of Check's play, but with that early big key and all those smalls, like I expect to find something here.
I do too. Chat saying you might go for a hover, but that's only going to happen if we find boots.
That's going to be a spectacular hover. I want to see it.
But hey, maybe boots are up here. It certainly wouldn't be the strangest thing ever.
I got faith. Zelga's very, very good. DT's very, very good. Maybe we see it.
And DT gained that Misery Mire small key to replace the one he reset. The one nice thing about having at least one Misery Mire small key is it does make routing cleaner when you go there.
Yeah, Mire small keys are kind of like just little time saves.
Yeah, pretty much. And silvers for Lamo too is always nice. And we'll see what DT decides to do here.
Yeah, there's a good point from DT, who clearly has no, or from JP, sorry, in chat, who clearly has no rooting interest in this game. That you would, if you Moldorm bounce, be isolating the Moldorm 2 check. I think if something turns out to be there and Zelga does this Moldorm bounce off the climb, that might be the thing that you last location. Yeah,
that's a really good point. Because we've been talking about, like we keep going back to that Thieves Down big chest that we know is nothing for DT. At least I keep going back to it. This room kind of sucks without boots because you can't bonk to the middle. I'm getting close to items here. If this is hookshot.
Yeah. That's just disgusting. Thieves Town hammer to upper GT. Hookshot would be... That'd be a thing.
One more shot at it. Just a heart container.
All right, so unless it's a connector to Mire area for Quake.
Yeah.
All right, time for some buffers. All right. Hey,
nicely done.
That was nice and quick.
That was very good.
Very nice bounce there from Zelga.
Shout outs to Aussie again for putting together the tutorial that I think everybody used. Although Zelga, the first time I saw Zelga mold on Browns might have been before that tutorial. He did it in a tournament race a couple of years ago. While I want to say his opponent was trying to hover and got the bounce first.
Yeah, it was a very cool setup there. Very, very quick. And it didn't look like he was looking for all of the bomb frames, at least as judiciously as I'm used to seeing. So he clearly has a lot of reps with it.
Yep. And in the meantime, DT is gonna. Looks like I'm guessing he's gonna go ahead and check that Turtle Rock entry. He wants no part of the climb right now.
We'll see what Cac Wells got for us. It's not a hook shot.
It's definitely not a hook shot.
It could be a boots.
Could definitely be a boots.
Oh yeah, and get this entrance too. This is actually really good consolidated routing as well. Surprise, Zelga, who did very well in the Cross Keys tournament, routing very well today.
Yeah, knows what he's doing.
Has played this game a time or two. Yo!
Wow! Oh my! Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay. I think DT might be following him up the climb because that hook shot at the dam in Bombos opened Turtle Rock entrance. That's amazing.
So yeah, okay, yeah, Turtle Rock entrance behind that Bombos to the dam. Not these are all things that just like the seed has been telling us exactly where to go. I love it when it does this. And then the well did lead us straight to those boots, as well as to the Desert Big Key.
Now the really interesting part of this is what is on that Moldorm chest. We are going to see it from... actually, we're going to see the left side first, and then we'll see... probably see it. Oh, and didn't you call it earlier? We have a desert entrance Tower of Hera.
Yeah. I swear I don't have the spoiler for this. I've just been listening to what the seed has been telling our runners and making reasonable guesses.
Yep, I mean, it was a reasonable guess, but you did guess it. Okay, so
Nice Beatles.
Zelga gonna go ahead and clear out this dungeon without the hook shot. Can't do a Hera pot, but we have the big keys. We don't care. I mean, I assume so. We don't care, but the amount of time loss is not that significant. Also, depending on Swamp, I see Swamp marked as a pendant. That hookshot may actually only be required to get the boots. And the hookshot, or the boots would get us Mire, which is also a pendant, so we might not even need it for that. Looking at apparently we have full pendant and crystal knowledge except for the second red crystal.
A little 2-floor stage dive there from Zelga.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of trouble setting up the bomb jump. The bonk setup seemed to not quite do it. Nice little block clip optimization there from DT on left side.
Yeah, when you do the bonk, you get 6 pixels of leeway instead of 2, so I'm a little surprised that didn't work for him.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the bonk not work there, given that it did look like he was on one of the 6 viable pixels. Yep. He must have just bonked maybe a little early or something.
Okay, nothing on the left side of GT. Is he good? Yeah, he's going back. Yeah, I think you have to if you're DT go back in.
Oh, 100%. There's no reason you don't climb here, and we know that this is where the Desert Big Key is, so...
Oh, I mean, okay, and that's required.
Yeah, he's got to do this climb. Climb 100% required, this seed.
And he'll be happy to find boots, too.
Yeah, the boots, entrances, maybe good. We've got Hera at this point. We just found the dam. Although, we'd rather not do swamp anyway. What do we still need?
That's Skullwood's back. Yeah, Skullwood's back. See if Zelga goes back in and checks the basement.
Skullwood's back with all of those boots entrances just opening up. We've seen a few of them, but I think that might be the low-hanging fruit here.
Okay, Zelga choosing not to check the basement of Tower Repair.
Yeah, I mean, if he's just looking for the entrance for Skullwoods,
yeah, that's reasonable.
Like, heck, hook shot, just go.
Oh, have we seen Eastern?
That is also true. Good.
Yeah, we have not found Eastern.
We've not found Eastern or Skullwoods, but I think we're just in an entrance search mode, so just scan those as fast as you can.
Yeah, between the two runners, yeah. So yeah, that means the potentially only hard required thing here is that Desert Big Key. Trying to think, I mean, there's items we can get from that hookshot. The hookshot, we did see hookshot cave forever ago, for instance. Oh yeah, and JP and chat make a good point. Flute could be needed because we have not seen a connector to Mire yet.
Yeah, not seeing the Mire connector. That's kind of what I was expecting to see out of Turtle Rock or Desert Entrance if it wasn't a dungeon. Dungeon Dam and a connector to Mire area seem to be the biggest outstanding things.
Yep.
And it looks like we are getting the follow-up on Boots entrances right away from Zelga, just hunting furiously for those last couple needed locations, and has already come out of the Bonk Rocks. I forget.
Bonk Rocks is nothing. It was some connector, yeah.
We did.
I want to say Hyrule Castle. Oh, hello, Skullwoods.
Well, here's one of them.
Boots hard required.
So yeah, that GT climb going to pay off with 2 required things for DT.
And also, still no lamp, by the way.
Yeah, no lamp. That's okay. We have Fire Rod.
Yeah, it's fine. Honestly, at this point, I'd want another sword, but more than I'd want a lamp. Most of the worst dark areas we don't need to do.
Yeah, probably the hardest auto win out. Of course, JP pointing it out would be Flute here to a required entrance.
Oh my god!
In Mire that is otherwise inaccessible.
Yep.
But we'll find out real soon what Moldorm 2 has behind him.
Just a shield.
A better blocker.
Oh, Zelka didn't check the first chest. That makes sense, because the only thing that can help him at this point really is that flute or a hook shot, which is... But neither one helps him for the dungeon itself. Well, I guess a sword would have been nice, but, I mean, he's got half magic, fire rod, hammer, and got plenty of things to... Cape is nice.
Cape isn't not nice.
I mean, it's not what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's not really at the top of anyone's list.
No,
but
no, not at all.
But
it's better than,
Ganon,
20
I'm
rupees.
Sad to see it, yeah. Oh, that's true. Without hook shot, I don't remember which side of bumper we've seen.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Yes, and yeah, I think the only thing, if that's the last connector we have, that's going to be TR Laser Bridge, as Tofel points out in chat, one of our other wonderful trackers.
Yeah, or Mimic Cave Bridge, rather.
Yeah.
But Laser Bridge,
Not Laser Bridge, yeah, Turtle Rock Bridge.
So yeah, here's our bridge with our mirror spot. Oh, what are you doing sleeping up here, kid?
Playing with bombs.
Well, we won't go any further with that one, but it's a little sketchy.
That's another small key to ice, so that's nothing. So the cape is just luxury, not required in any way. And to answer chat, yes, DT checked the left side of GT. Because he has a hook shot. And I think this will be a hook shot for Zelga.
Yeah. I am somehow surprised that we've still dodged the lamp.
I know, right?
Like it's a little weird.
Yeah, sometimes
I guess it's
piecing
gotta be
back
the
the
swamp.
logic. Oh, yeah, could be. Sometimes piecing back the logic after the fact can be a fun but taxing exercise.
It's boot checks time now for DT.
Yeah, so we'll get a Skullwoods.
Skullwoods.
Has he checked the actual damn item yet? I always forget that if I get the damn late.
So.
I've already checked the entrance.
I don't think we've seen the actual item that was from the dam, and looks like we might find out real soon, though.
Yeah, looks like.
And just
bombs. Ah, yes, Hookshot Cave.
This could be important. It probably won't be too far down Zelga's list of things to do.
Yeah, because it's right where the damn item is.
And it's accessible.
And it's nothing.
All right. Feeling swamp?
Not my first choice, but yeah.
We're starting to run out of...
Zelga's going to do left side.
Yeah, we're starting to run out of exits.
So it makes sense for Zelga to do left side here. Doesn't make sense for him to climb.
Yeah. At this point, it's looking like that flute is going to pop up somewhere, and we're going to see Eastern in Meyer area.
Oh, hey, another pod small key. I think we've seen everything in pod with a couple of save scums from DT. We know that's not the answer. Meyer is fully open for us now, except Viddy technically with no lamp. That could be a lamp location too.
Yeah, hookshot and boots just showing up recently. All those items in Meyer are pretty well in a deep sphere. Dam also, though, being late behind GT with that Bombos medallion. There's a lot of very deep sphere items that are accessible for how deep we are in the seed. Yeah.
In bad pendants.
Which
pendant do you want to do?
Pretty check-heavy pendants.
Yeah, because we're gonna get that choice coming up pretty soon. Because I think at this point we need a flute.
And there's that left side GT, and yeah, Zelga judiciously not climbing. There's no way you go back from
there's no way. There's no way. Like if you're gonna go back from Moldorm 2, you shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Exactly. I don't see a world where any rational runner makes that climb unless unless something terrible happened to them earlier in the seed or something.
Okay, finish off desert. May as well.
Yeah, I mean, is crystal, could be flute.
Yep.
So there's no reason not to start knocking these things out and just letting your item pop up.
Yeah, looks like DT is gonna do Turtle Rock. Oh no.
That's not doing Turtle Rock anymore.
That is a terrible entry. Yeah, I guess we didn't see that from Zelga. Or maybe we were watching it. Maybe we were
I
on
think we
DT
did see
side.
it. I think it was one of the. Or
Yeah, he
no,
might.
we never mirrored into Tapa Castle, so I don't remember when we saw. I think it was pretty early though.
Yeah.
It was like a death warp back, check it into a saving, quit after getting the
Yeah.
first 4 chests or something. It was a while ago.
I mean, the good news is you don't ever have to get the big bomb and a Misery Mire big key. So we have one more logical check in Mire. Actually, 2 more. Well, no, 1 more because Vidi's not in logic without the lamp. I wasn't even thinking in terms of the big key at the time when we were talking about it. So it's 7 in logic, 8 total checks in Mire, plus the and then there's, what is it, 12 in Swamp? No, it's not 12. It's whatever. It's 6 plus 4. Yeah, 10 in Swamp.
It's 10. I think with Meyer Big Key showing up there, I don't know which one's actually deeper. I think I'm inclined to, I guess, do whichever one has the easier entrance to get to.
Yeah, well, the Mire entrance is just to the east of Link's house. And I want to say Swamp was somewhere in North Light World. I remember we saw Swamp pretty early. Maybe it was in Dark World. Maybe in early Dark World checks. I'm not sure. So, Dark Lumberjack. Okay.
Okay, I was gonna say it was Swamp like the Fire Rod entrance or something. I think it was up in that area.
So definitely easier to get to Mire. That doesn't. So yeah, your choices are. Yeah, you got your choices. So, well, Lamp won't be in. Yeah. No, never mind. I was gonna say something about where Lamp could be, and I think that's wrong, so I'm just not gonna say it. And yeah, we still need that eastern entrance, which at this point, I'm not sure we have anything left but the Mire area.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any connectors we haven't chased. I think we've seen all.
I think
if
between
it's a
the two of them,
paradox exit, I would be
No, we've seen
astonished.
both of these.
Yeah. I think we're down to just finding our way over to Mire, which means finding our flute from
Wherever.
one of 2 dungeons, basically. I don't think there's
this is
checks
a cool
left
play
either.
from Zelda. That's.
Yeah.
I guess from where he was at, this may be the quicker way to get there.
Yeah, or he was sort of part of the way, and if you end up saying, well, I probably have to do both.
Yep.
May as well do the one that I lose less time if I'm wrong.
Yeah, and DT going to finish up Turtle Rock now. Definitely the right call for him. He knows he needs to do this anyway, so.
So for the DT fans in chat, you're probably going to be looking for the play into Mire to be the premier out here, with
the
Zelda
correct
being ahead
answer.
in the swamp.
Yeah, the correct answer and the one that DT chooses. I love the cursor shadow on the platform. It's pretty cool. Especially when he's facing left or right with that shield. A little easier decision for DT whether to open this door or not. I think at this point the only entrance he can't get back into is if it was actual GT.
Yeah, in terms of what is unknown.
And we're up to 6 pod small keys on Zelga, so he has a little less of pod check, so he could choose to go there. I don't think you do with more items in Mire, but.
Yeah, with how deep Mire and Swamp entered logic, I don't see it. Nice Samaria block grab there on the rail clip. to get around needing to slow walk to lift the pot to cancel the sword spin. That's a nice little optimization there from Zelga.
And another Turtle Rock small key. I think that's all 4 now, between the 2 of them. So far, no lamp in swamp. Also, no sword. You know, we always say always a sword in swamp. If it's in swamp today, it's on the left side. Or on Argus.
Even good Master Sword Argus, just like
It's
it looks
still
like
annoying.
this fight is just such a mess. I hate this fight.
I mean, this is Master Sword, not Fighter Sword.
Oh, do not over menu. Okay, there we go.
Oh, gosh, yeah. And DT is going to check the front of Turtle Rock, which is completely reasonable. And we'll see what he chooses to do next. And does Zelga go back in for left side?
With Swamp Entrance being where it is, I don't think you risk being wrong here on a 2 versus 8. I think you have to go back in.
It's like he's headed back in. Chat asking if Pet is alive, and I would say yeah.
I mean, yeah, we have
all the
access to
pendant
all of our
dungeons are
pendant
completable dungeons.
so.
I mean, the only thing I can say about Pet is it won't be a lamp.
Yeah. A lamp would have to show up somewhere in one of these dungeons for it to be logically accessible, but otherwise there's no reason why there couldn't be required items such as the flute there.
I mean, heck, it could be a logically required item like the Ice Palace Big Key.
Why would you do that, Tracy?
Well, I mean, logically, because Ice Palace logically needs a big key to just complete, not because I want anything to be in the big chest there. Let me be clear.
That's a horrible thing to say. Why would you ever talk about this? You were on Twitch chat. Oh, we're stuck in the old woman here on DT's side. It's an unfortunate mirror. This should be better. Yeah, we still, I was just thinking about this, and Tofile's pointing it out that DT is not fake powdered with that mushroom scum. So
yeah, you could.
We have that bad beat still available.
It's so rare that fake powder pays off, but when it does, especially in a cross keys, it's pretty big. Zelga turned in the mushroom and doesn't have the opportunity. Castle Tower small, which does nothing.
Yeah, what's...
Yeah, we had the Hyrule
Just
Castle.
back escape. Oh, are we not going to find out? Okay, it's a compass. So it looks like Meyer, but it looks like DT might be headed toward Swamp as well.
It'd be unfortunate. They're both in Meyer at the same time, then we'd have a real race on our hands. But yeah, if he's going to be behind the Meyer play to a probable flute at this point, it's going to be unfortunate.
We still have a real race. It's just likely that it's either here in Meyer or, there's the roughly 10%-ish that it shows up on pedestal at this point, and either of those Zelga at this point is pretty strongly ahead to.
Yep. All right, and DT also has to do Hera. Hera basement though. Zelga did skip that, so that is.
That's a remaining out. Yeah,
that's an out for DT. Assuming he does it, getting there as late as he might, the two schools of thought. One is I need to cut a corner because I'm behind, or there's the well, I should check this in hopes that my opponent didn't. So far, Myra not coming up with the goods. Gonna do the nice rail clip here.
Yeah, I like when fancy looking things just amount to just press 2 buttons at the same time. It's kind of nice how a lot of the little optimizations work.
Also, notice Zelga holding off on cutscene chests. That could very well just be a, well, I don't have 3 Myra small, so I'll try and save the time and do the logical checks first.
It's a small key to this dungeon. Ah, heck.
We know
All
2 are
right,
available.
then.
I think he's only got, I don't think
Yeah.
he's seen the one that's sitting in pod that DT reset.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to set up a hook shot over to the chest over here. And then going to go to the back, it looks like. And think, figuring that oh, hi, Powder. So the fake Powder no longer an out for DT. Because if you don't find anything else here, I think you got to go right straight and follow that Powder.
Yeah, since you haven't completed pod yet. Where was Bat?
It was early. I want to say it was at the castle.
Okay, so it's not in the vicinity of the pedestal check.
No.
Okay.
Also, I don't believe we've seen Bombo's tablet yet.
Oh wow. I felt like we saw it. But...
We saw Ether for sure.
Yeah, we definitely saw Ether because we went right up there.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe still a thing.
Yeah, another question, does Zelga go back in for cutscene chest after this? Or no, he won't
Probably
be because
not.
that's the flute, and
Yeah. You probably chase the flute.
that's a
instead of
probable go
cutscene.
mode.
Yeah.
Also, we're not going to find a lamp in Eastern. Or anywhere in Myra area.
Yeah, unless we've somehow missed a connector that we've all forgotten about, and presumably the runners have also forgotten about.
Yeah, that's unlikely. I mean, it can happen to one person. I can't imagine it happens to all of us. It feels really bad when it does. I remember getting to Myra with a flute and finding a hook shot and being really happy until I checked all the entrances and realized I'd missed one of the Hyrule Castle entrances and could have had that hook shot like an hour earlier. So it does happen.
So what order do you do these entrances in? What is the density route for entrances with Flute to Mire?
Well, the nice thing is we don't have to do the desert area since we had a connector there.
Yeah.
So I think you just start with Mire Shed and work your way east. Maybe save actual Mire for last because you got to use a medallion for it, and that takes time.
Well, there's Eastern. So.
First check. I guess we can call that go mode for Zelga then. We're never going to find the lamp. Could be cutscene chest and Mire, could be Bombo's tablet, could be Hera basement.
Was the third Mire small behind the lamp in pod?
It was behind 6 pod small, so maybe. Because it was on Big Key Chest. And
one of the pod smalls was in the dark basement, so yeah, the lamp can't be there.
Okay, the lamp can't be there, you're right.
This is the point where we just start to do forensics on the seed.
yeah, Zelga doing a few quick checks on path, hoping to find a sword, but does not. So we're probably going to see the rare Master Sword cross keys Ganon, because usually by this point most people usually have at least 3, usually even 4. But today, nope. And those swords, by the way, are still not in logic because no lamp.
DT is gonna bring us some knowledge, though. Betting odds are that it's a sword here.
Yeah, I
No,
would not surprise me.
betting odds are that it's just Oh, it is.
God, it is
Thanks,
the big key to
Tracy.
ice. I say again, I only thought of it in terms of a item, not as in the big chest location. Oh, and there is a sword sitting on the Armos Knights. How convenient. And this will be Hera for DT. I'm hoping that DT will do the basement so we can see if that's a lamp, but no, he'll have to. He might not choose to finish if when he sees that finish from Zelga. I don't know if there's enough time for him to finish the dungeon and check that.
Hera is pretty quick, but I think so is Ganondorf. So
yeah, and more to the point,
Ganon.
the actual check of the basement is the slow part.
Yeah. Good little trident double spin there from Zelga, setting up the expected tempered 1-1 here. It's amazing how much more comfortable tempered sword is over Master Sword.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so no swords in logic. We never found a logical sword. They're all behind the lamp, which is who knows where at this point. We've had our 3 suggestions, but yeah, that'll do it for Zelga.
Yeah, and DT getting the crystal drop here in Hera about the same time. But Zelga just has to walk into the Triforce room.
Yep, finishing up with an official race time of 2:11:41, giving his team a 2-1 edge over DT and his team WJPDTB. So the spoils will go up 2-1, and we'll get a game 4.
Absolutely. So thanks to JP earlier today for pulling out that win, getting us all a game 4 to watch. GG to him on his win for WJPDTB.
Yep.
And GG to Zelga for the win for the spoilers. More relevant to what we have going on right here, right now, getting that 2-1 lead for his team.
And DT is going to go ahead and forfeit, but thankfully he is going to show us this check.
Does it have to be the lamp at this point? Because I'm kind of close with
Bombo's
that
tablet may not have been checked.
Bombo's tab. That's a good point.
And that powder wasn't behind the lamp, and it wasn't behind the Meyer keys, so could be at Magic Bat.
Okay, yeah.
Or it could just be in Hera basement.
All right.
All right, we're in
Mystery
logic
solved.
again.
And we are joined by Zelga. GG.
Yeah, GG's.
Hey, GG's. This game kind of sucks, man.
Done it though? How about that hammer and that fire rod and that hook, like everything?
And you never did get a logical sword until now we know where the lamp is because DT decided to tell us.
Yeah, I just saw it, and he mentioned in the race time room where he had just found the lamp. Yeah, this was really bad. Like I don't know about DT obviously, but I know I spent the first hour like just with 5 items, mitts, and a dream, and just trying to find any sort of way to do something. And then I finally find the Thieves Town Small. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then just the entire game opens up because I went into Thieves, and everything felt bad from then on. Because like I don't know if DT is one of those people who says, I've got a big key, we'll just say screw the big chest. And I was like, oh, maybe he's had this hammer and mirror for like 40 minutes.
He got there first for sure. I don't know if it was 40 minutes, but he definitely got there first.
It wasn't 40, but we were hoping that small key would like get you back into Thieves and not put you further off of waiting for the hammer.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when I actually went to the back of Thieves, my only other option was the back of the soft lock woods, where there was no escape. So I just said, well, I'll just do Thieves, and then I'll go to the back of Skullwoods if I have to.
Yep.
Yeah, it was certainly thin for both of you at that point in terms of viable plays.
Yeah, this was... Yeah, just talking to DT, we both hated pretty much every second of this for pretty good reason.
Yeah, and then you get your final sword on Armos Knights. So probably feeling pretty good you didn't have to do the Master Sword Ganon, which, I mean, I know you could have done it, but no one wants to do that if they can avoid it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I did feel a bit weird after Moldorm bouncing in GT, because I had like 3 entrances left in the whole game, and I checked the first one, and it's Hera, and then I checked the second one, and it's the Skull Woods. Like, oh god, is Turtle Rock actually going to be the Eastern? And then it was the dam with the hook shot, and all my plans blew up in my face, and I had no idea what I was doing.
I mean, first of all, very nice Moldorm bounce. Thankfully, for your sake, there was nothing in that chest. DT followed that bombos right away to Turtle Rock entrance, so he had the hook shot when he went up.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, well, maybe hook shot's just like Hera Basement or Bombos Tablet. Those were some of the few options I had. And then finding it when I did, I was like, well, you don't expect the dam and the hook shot to be right there next to each other. So I was pretty worried about that combo. There was no way to find one without the other. But
yeah, and you needed both the boots, one of the boots or the hook shot to finish the seed because of the Meyer situation and that flute.
Yeah, you actually didn't need the hook. You hard needed the boots because Skullwoods was at King's Tomb, but you could have theoretically. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
the hook shot was skippable. You're right.
Yeah, with nothing ending up being in the back of Swamp, you could get around that one. But with it being Moldorm bounce to boots, Desert Big Key, and then potentially Ether for an entrance still, that was
we never
pretty
did see
nuts
the Meyer entrance.
go well.
Yeah, that I felt as soon as I got the mirror and hammer, I knew I was pretty definitively behind, and I didn't feel like I even had a chance in this race again until after getting the Desert Big and the boots from behind GT, and then it was just a big cluster of trying to figure out what could I possibly do to pull out a win here.
Yeah, so at one point it was Meyer versus Swamp, and of course, the big debate is which do you do first. Was it just item density? Because it's just Swamp has more.
Yeah, it was a little bit of item density, and then it was also that I have no idea if DT Moldorm bounces, to be honest. So what I was thinking was if he found the dam, he also found the hook shot. So Swamp is a really good option. And so like covering my bases, if the flute was there, I know he's going to have the flute too. So it's kind of like hoping that maybe it's just an execution battle in the end, and maybe he last located the climb like I know a lot of people like to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to commit to that climb without a hook shot. if you can't, Moldorm bounce, or in this case, hovering wasn't an option, but in a lot of seeds, hovering would be an option. And it's a scary thing because you're skipping that chest. Like if you Moldorm bounce, you're just skipping that chest, and you're never going back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've lost more than one race and played even more races where I had to reclimb GT because that was dead last location progression. But it is what it is. You know the risks when you're doing it. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this one was weird because it started off looking really good with like the early mitts and flippers and Moon Pearl, just been like, okay, well, we'll find some mobility somewhere. And then just like you were saying, that middle hour was just so dead.
Yeah.
As you guys just trudged through a bunch of bad, crappy entrances until Fire Rod, Hammer, and Mirror kind of showed up in some nasty spots.
Yeah. There was another thing that made me feel behind too, which was I didn't have very many options besides doing Mimic Cave when I went to Ice Palace, and then as soon as I do Ice Palace and then go to Mimic Cave and get Samaria,
Yeah,
I just felt like everything was being wrong ordered in this one. So I'm really happy to pull out a win for the team. Definite GGs to DT because playing this was terrible. I'm glad I had company playing it, but hopefully.
You'll maybe feel better. You got to the cane first, but you both did. Ice without it. So, and did you see what was on Ped?
No, I actually didn't look at all.
Ice Palace Big Key. So logically, this was a Ped scene.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, this Cross Keys doing classic Cross Keys things.
Yeah, thankfully, obviously nothing in the in the Ice Palace big chest. Yeah. All right. So, any thoughts on game 4 now that we have the 2-1? Gonna have a game 4 with JP having one earlier today.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it much as a team, but we've got experience from doing games 4 and 5 to get to this series. So we'll definitely figure something out. I know we've even got some weird availabilities across the team over this next week. So we'll figure something out. But either way, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to game 4. Playing or watching should be a great time. I've got a lot of respect for everybody on WJPDTB. So
good team. You've got a good team too, so it's definitely a good matchup. But yeah, I mean, I know you guys won't be choosing the modes, so I can't ask you that question. Although I could ask the question if it's what you all might prefer, but I doubt you'd want to share that with all of the other team in chat. So I'll do my due diligence and ask the question, but yeah, feel free to not answer it, as the case may be.
Well, let me put it this way: if I play game 4, I would love swordless, but I don't know if I'm playing game 4.
Fair enough. All right. Anything else that you would like to add before we go ahead and wrap this up?
Thank you guys for the commentary, the tracking, the restreaming. Really appreciate it. Big GGs again to DT, and looking forward to game 4.
All right. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So this is it for today. I believe there's a pretty big open match tomorrow involving my co-com.
I guess, yeah. I forgot that was on the calendar, huh? But yeah, first, GGs to both of ours. This was a fantastic race. I don't want to think about that one tomorrow.
But yeah, we do have Bottles and Empty versus Blue Balls United. That'll be Maximum Barnage and my co-com Manigal versus Matt Cap and Red Kitsune. And then the next Invitational League match will be Monday at 6 o'clock. That'll be Titans Myths versus Did You Check Your Boots? Looks like they're going to play some hard Enemizer with Sailor Net versus Rampant Revenant. So definitely make sure y'all tune in for those.
Yeah, those should both be great. I'll do my best to not hack it up too bad tomorrow. But that'll be a fun one just because it's a game 5 for an Invitational League invite for next season. So I think we're all going to try and bring our A game for that.
I think that'll be a good one to watch. Yeah, pretty much going to do it all for us. First of all, thank you to Maniacal for joining me as a co-com. Pleasure as always. Especially thank you to our trackers, StereoX and Tofile. Again, always the MVPs. This was an ALTTP channel matchup, so we want to shout out Arturo for setting us up. And, of course, all of you in chat and our runners. If you aren't already following everybody, please do give our runners especially a follow. Looks like StereoX put those commands in chat a little bit above, so go ahead and follow those. But yeah, pretty much going to do it for us. Thank you all for watching. Maniacal, you got anything else?
No, thanks, Tracy, for letting me join you on short notice and for anchoring the commentary, carrying my confused self through a Cross Keys seed. It was an excellent time.
I think you did fine.
Hopefully y'all enjoyed it as much as we did, and maybe a little bit more than our runners suffering through this slightly harrowing one, but definitely GG's to the spoilers taking that 2-1 lead. And GG's to DT and WJPDTB for getting through this one, forcing that game 4 earlier today. Looking forward to it. And is this a see you next mission game? No, it's not, Tracy.
No,
So
no,
I'll let
no.
you close it out.
Okay, well, we'll see you at Maniacal's race tomorrow. That's where we're gonna see you all. So see you all then.